That guy was a banker, and he hated me. I figured that I must have owed him a lot of money for him to act that way. I spent a miserable 15 minutes trying to communicate. Stephen on my left commented, "Man, that guy is nasty." But I kept trying to get something going with the nasty guy. After another 15 minutes of misery, the guy finally started to open up and talk to me a little bit. Then we started to get along a little. Finally, I asked, "What bank are you with?" He told me, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Holy crap! What's your name?" He told me his name, and I really couldn't believe it. Of all the people to sit next to in this crowd of 2,000 bankers, I end up sitting right next to the brutal killer who had pulverized so many people and destroyed their lives. He was the killer who was after me. What luck! I was not sure whether it was good luck or bad, but to be sitting right next to this guy was amazing. I said, "You're the one that's killing everybody, and you want to kill me too." He said, "Yes, we do." But we kept on talking, and after an hour, I was actually getting along with him. He really loves women, and wanted to talk about women. So I talked to him about women. Frankly, when you owe someone as much money as I owed him, you talk about whatever they want to talk about. In talking to him, I found out that he was in a lot of trouble himself. He had thrown 37 companies into bankruptcy. Those 37 real estate guys owed him a lot of money and had no way to pay up. Being the mean, vicious guy that he was, he wanted blood. Sure, putting 37 companies into bankruptcy made him feel better, but it was not bringing in any money. In fact, he was losing money. His legal fees were eating him alive, and all his assets were being wiped out. By the way, that is the one good thing about lawyers. Eventually, they get so greedy that their client just wants to get out of the case, which is a good time to settle. It turns out that the banker's lawyers had been giving him a dose of his own medicine, and his bank was getting hurt financially. His bosses at the bank were angry with him because he was spending too much money on lawyers instead of working out deals that would bring in money. I was very fortunate to be dealing with him right then. If I had met him a year before, we would not have had a discussion. The year before, he was in no mood to talk. He just wanted to crush everybody in sight. We started getting along, and by the end of the evening, we were actually enjoying ourselves. Then he said, "You know, Donald, you're not a bad guy." I said, "I told you." He said, "Well, how about this? How about you come to my office to work this out?" When things were booming, I was the king, and people came to see me in my office. But when you owe someone money, you go to their office. I could not say, "No, you come up to my office." So this barbarian banker said, "So how about you come to my office on Monday morning at 9? Let's see if we can work something out." I said, "I'd love that." Monday morning, I went to his office, and in 5 minutes we had worked out a great deal. That's why I believe in the Gary Player statement. The harder I work, the luckier I get. I did not want to go out that night. I wanted to stay home. I wanted to relax. I wanted to watch television. I wanted to take it easy. I wanted to do anything but go out with bankers. But I went out with those bankers, and I sat next to that difficult guy. If I had not gone out that night, I probably would not be in the situation I am in right now. I probably would not be doing very well right now, like many of the people who went bankrupt and went out of business. If I had not gone to the bankers' convention, that bank would have tried to destroy me, although I would have hit them hard, and I would not be telling you this story. Going to the bankers' dinner was hard work. It was not like going out to a nice dinner and having a wonderful time. It was work. That was a horrible time in my life, but in the end, it all worked out because I did my work, and then I got very lucky, and I worked out an unbelievable deal. It's true that some people are luckier than others. I have no doubt about that. But you can help create your own luck. You can make things happen through hard work and intelligence. You can become luckier. The fact is, plenty of people have been able to take a bad situation or an unlucky situation and turn it around through hard work. I started building mixed-use hotel condominiums in New York City. The strategy has been very successful for me. When I built the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Las Vegas, I knew Las Vegas was a hot market, but I was surprised when the tower sold out before it was even built. I had great luck and perfect timing with that project. I also met another great friend on that deal, Phil Ruffin, a guy who has made a fortune and truly has great instincts. Luck does not come around often. So when it does, be sure to take full advantage of it, even if it means working very hard. When luck is on your side, it is not the time to be modest or timid. It's the time to go for the biggest success you can possibly achieve. That is the true meaning of thinking big. Good luck happens when opportunity meets preparation. The past few years of my life have been very active, to put it mildly. The pace has escalated to enormous proportions. I love it that way. It is extremely demanding, but also very fulfilling and exciting. I am no stranger to working hard. I've done it all my life. As a result, I have become accustomed to expecting success in everything I do. Some people call me lucky, but I know better. Like Gary Player said, work has a lot to do with it. A lot of people look at successful people and do not see anything but the end result. They do not see all the work that went into getting there. Then they attribute all that success to luck. But I look at it this way. I say, sure, they were lucky. They were lucky enough to have the brains to work hard. For example, when The Apprentice became a big hit, everybody thought I was lucky. But I had over 30 years of experience to draw from in those boardroom scenes. I come across as someone who knows what he's doing because I have been there myself. The Apprentice gives people a real taste of being inside a high-stakes New York corporation, which appeals to many people. Being on television was new to me, but the rest was not particularly new. Business is business, whether it is being filmed or not. I've written a lot of books, and lately it seems like I'm always writing a book. I spend up to 7 or 8 months putting together notes, collecting articles, and dictating stories and ideas before I even start writing. Then there is writing and editing. The whole endeavor of creating a finished manuscript takes a lot of time, patience, and persistence. But when I see the first printed copies come off the press, I feel a wave of satisfaction at a job well done. Readers never see all the sweat and muscle that goes into a book, but books do not just appear out of nowhere. While I was in the process of writing one of my books, I became interested in the origins of the new "give me" attitude that seems to be sweeping across this country. I believe it started in the late 80s with the emergence of the instant gratification ethic of the me generation. Young people graduated from college expecting to be instantly successful. That mentality continued into the 90s, spurred by the tech bubble and the booming stock market. People in their 20s were quitting their jobs to join startup tech companies and become multimillionaires or billionaires literally overnight. The old idea of having to work long and hard for success was replaced by an "I want it all right now" attitude. The trend is cemented into the American psyche by the superstar athletes, movie stars, and rock stars on MTV who make tremendous amounts of money, and some of them are only in their teens. Now everyone thinks they should have what those very few people have. The general public is bombarded by media stories of easy success and thinks it should happen that way for them too. The reality is that this kind of success is rare and happens to only a few people, and it almost never happens overnight. Not everybody can be a Sergey Brin or Jerry Yang, the founders of Yahoo. The media has distorted reality, so that people who have to struggle or work for long years to be successful are left with a strange feeling that somehow they are being left out. They feel that the world owes them something, but in real life it does not work that way. There are no guarantees that anyone will be rich and successful. Nobody owes you anything. You need to get down to earth and realize that you have to pave your own way to success by working hard and being diligent. There is no other way. Sure, luck plays some part in the scheme of things, no question. But you cannot control luck. All you can do is to look at what you have going for you and use it to the max. Ignore what you lack. If you dwell on the negative, it's all over for you. Luck will not have a chance to show up in your life. Remember, many people have made it big in spite of their weaknesses. It's very important to know what you want for yourself, not what other people want for you. Make your own decisions on what is best for you. Do not be afraid to take chances. Keeping your nose to the grindstone does not mean that you should let yourself get stale. Be open to new ideas and be willing to try new things. What if I had said, "I don't want my name out there," when asked if I would add the Trump trademark to products other than my buildings? I was presented with various opportunities to lend my name to many products, and because I was willing to try new things, the Trump name is on the highest quality suits, ties, shirts, vodka, steaks, and so on. I was proud to get behind all of the products, and they are successful. If I were not willing to try something new, these things would not exist. When I was presented with the opportunity to build my first golf course, I had to think it over carefully. It was an exciting opportunity to build something I had never built before. It was a chance to flex my muscles and create something new that was both